You know, Peyton Manning, I never saw you really having a problem with the media. Some other players did, but that clearly was not the case with you. I want to know, when you listen to folks talk about the media and what have you, is that why Omaha Productions, your company, is so big? Is that why you decided to get, because I don't know if you noticed or not, you know you're a member of the media now. You do know that. You do know that, right?
I did not know that.
You're a member of the media. I mean, you're producing content for a lot of folks to see out there. Great content, I might add. Major props to you. Was that one of the incentives in getting involved? Having your own production company, producing content, ESPN, Netflix, NBC, the list goes on, and you're everywhere.
It certainly wasn't something I was thinking about while I was playing. When I was playing football, I was all in on my current job. I think that's how all players should be. I used to hear players in the locker room, Stephen A., talking about what business they were going to get into after football. They were going to get involved in this real estate. I look at them, I go, you know, you're not doing your current job all that well. You haven't really blocked anybody in a couple weeks. You dropped 5 balls last Sunday. Let's kind of focus on this current job, and we'll get to the real estate thing later. So I was so wired in, and so when you stop playing, look, you try to figure out. I think the best advice I got was from Tony Dungy, Stephen A., was figure out what you don't want to do. And I just knew that I didn't want to go in to coaching. I'm the assistant offensive coordinator on my son's 8th grade football team. That's the extent of my coaching experience, not qualified to be the main coordinator. So I think you figure those things out. But look, I always had great respect for the media, because the media is how the game grows. The media is how you know who A.J. Brown is how you know who Bo Nix is, right? That's how you grow the game. So I always took the time to do my interviews. The one thing I can say I'm always proud of, look, I had a lot of bad games, but I always did my interviews after the game. You can't go do the interviews after you win and then skip it after you lose. So you always did it, but that's how the word spreads about the game. And so, you know, look, to play quarterback in the NFL, you better have thick skin. I never felt a media member or even, you know, the fans had criticisms of me that I probably didn't already have of myself, right? I was always my own biggest critic. So I think it's important to grow the game.
How does that influence you in terms of how you do the Manningcast? Obviously, it's an incredibly popular show. We all watch. We all love seeing you and Eli. This year, you're going to have the great Bill Belichick on board. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you guys know what you're doing, especially on the offensive side of the ball. That's a defensive genius right there, Bill Belichick. So it's definitely, when you talk about substantive material on the NFL, that is it. That is the place to see, no question about it. Talk about what we should expect watching the Manningcast this upcoming NFL season, what the thought process was behind it, and how you're feeling about it overall right now.
Yeah, we're excited about it. It's our 4th season. Our first game is Jets, 49ers. Bill Belichick is going to be a permanent guest in the first half, and he's going to fit in great because he doesn't like Eli. And so I'm like, this will be a perfect fit. You know, Eli and I mean, Bill and I can just gang up and make fun of Eli the whole time. But Stephen A. is right. I don't think people necessarily have gotten to hear Bill Belichick speak about defense, about, you know, head coaching decisions, whatnot. And he's Eli and I have had a couple of rehearsals with him. He's got so much knowledge, and he's always shared that with his team, but he never was sharing that with the general public. And I think he's going to do that this year. And Eli and I have kind of found it very insightful. I think the fans will as well. So he's going to be on there, and we're excited about it. We got some great guests lined up. You know, we've tried to find some celebrities that are big fans of the Jets 49ers. We're trying to get Adam Sandler for the Jets 49ers. He's a big Jets fan. There's a lot of Jets celebrity fans that I didn't know were fans because they had nothing to cheer about for a long time. And now they've kind of come out of the woodworks, right? Because the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. But look, to me, the great thing about the Manningcast, Stephen A., is that I think it's kind of a unifier. I love the fact that there are so many people from different backgrounds, that different, you know, political views, whatever it is, they all love football, right? And that's one place we can watch together and be together. We've had, you know, Condoleezza Rice can break down a cover 2 defense as well as I can. President Obama, diehard Bears fan. Snoop Dogg, has been a youth football coach for years.
That's right.
In Los Angeles. Had a huge impact on a number of young men. And I love that. 3 totally different backgrounds, but we can all watch football together. Now, our guests are on via Zoom, so we can see them like in between commercials. There's a little more smoke coming out of Snoop's Zoom than there is Condoleezza's, right? But that's okay. We all love football. We're all on the same page. So it's going to be a lot of that this year. I still love when we get the current players to come on there as a guest. That's a hard one to get to commit, though, because they have to win on that Sunday before. You know, it's a bad look to come on our show.
You can't be coming on after a loss. I mean, you lost. What the hell you lost? I mean, why'd you lose the game? And shouldn't you be focused on making sure you don't lose the following week since you just lost Sunday? So, I don't blame you one bit. Did you tell Aaron Rodgers to make sure he doesn't get hurt 4 plays into the season? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm a fan. I need to see him more than 4 plays.
No, we all do. And look, I think he's going to have a great year. He is motivated. I think one thing we've learned, Aaron, what's the term? Keeps receipts. He knows when people say, hey, you know, he's too old or whatnot. I think he's going to have a good year. He looks healthy out there just from the little clips that you see. And look, it'd be a great test for him against that 49ers defense in the first game. And he's always been motivated against the 49ers because they passed on him in the draft. And so I see him, look, his arm is just so unique. It's unlike just about any other quarterback. It's elastic, right? I mean, I was always a guy that to make this throw, my feet had to be lined up perfectly toward the direction. Aaron Rodgers' feet can be lined up over here, and he can throw a 40-yard pass over there. So I see him having a good year. I really do.
Well, I do too. I mean, I'm not keeping all the receipts. He did score 10 points against the San Francisco 49ers in a playoff loss at Lambeau Field. He doesn't always show up against San Francisco, but that's neither here nor there. I digress. When I look at you guys, you and Eli, first of all, I don't think people realize how hilarious you guys are. I still remember you doing Saturday Night Live years ago, okay? So, I mean, I love that. And Eli is just a walking comedian, for crying out loud. He's hilarious, too. But I was surprised at how candid you were willing to be doing the show. As you prepared to do the Manningcast, to see you on the airways, you'll get on players left and right when they mess up. You're not shy about that. Did it take something? Did somebody have to advise you to do it, or did that come natural to you because of the perfectionist you're known to be?
Well, it's certainly been an adjustment, you know, for us, and we're doing it so differently than the traditional way. I do it from my neighbor Scott's garage in Denver. Eli does it from his back house in New Jersey. I mean, Eli kind of thought that ESPN was joking when we kind of talked about doing this. Eli said, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You want to pay me to watch football with my brother from my house? Eli's like, you know I went to Ole Miss, I'm not that smart, but that sounds like a pretty good idea. So that's kind of how it came about. But look, we try to have fun watching the game. Like, I know how hard it is as a quarterback. When people are throwing 3 interceptions, I'm like, I threw 6 one night against the Chargers. I would have thrown more. The clock ran out. So, you know, I still try to defend quarterbacks and whatnot. But, you know, certainly, you know, if a guy doesn't call timeout or a guy steps out of bounds, I mean, it needs to be addressed like, hey, you ran out of bounds. You're going to give Tom Brady, you know, 2 minutes and 30 seconds now to go down the field, you're going to lose this game, right? So I kind of like to point out the things that are going to lead to a mistake, but we try to have fun and try to point out, you know, the positive things going on in the game. And look, I'm still a big fan of the game. I'm a defender of the game. The football is important to me. But yeah, it's good to have fun. Saturday Night Live, I hosted it years ago. For a football player, as you know, Stephen A., to take your helmet off and to show that you can laugh, to show that you can laugh at yourself, that's a good thing, right? You know, football players, if you see them smiling on the field, that means they're not serious or not, I mean, it means they're not focused enough, right? They kind of get criticized. So it's fun to take your helmet off. The one skit people ask me a lot about on Saturday Night Live is that I was throwing these footballs at these kids. And we filmed it here in New York. We recorded it on Thursday. Andy Samberg wrote the script. He said, I think it'd be funny if you were just beating up on kids. His first idea was if y'all were playing pool with some kid and you won't let him use the bridge. He can't reach it, you know. And so that's how it kind of grew. And next thing you know, I'm pegging these kids with footballs right in the face. And the hard thing about it, Stephen A., the kids' parents were out there the whole time watching.
Wow.
And so now, they're going, Peyton, look, we're going to put these sound effects with it. The parents are watching, but it's only going to work if you're just whacking them right in the head. And I finally said, I'm not sure I can do it. And then right then, one of the parents of the kids ran out on the set and told the director, I want him to hit my kid in the face. And they wanted to give Timmy a little more airtime. And I said, I will knock your kid out. So anyway.
That was a lot of people. That was my second funniest skit. The first one, the one I loved the most was when you was teaching them how to carjack. 5-0, 5-0. That's what had me cracking up. But anyway, listen, before I move on to some football items, just as an aside, do you and Eli live close to each other?
No, Eli's.
So he got to get on a plane and fly to your house.
No. Eli does it in Jersey. Eli does it Eli has a kind of a back house basement in New Jersey. I'm in Denver, and so we get to do it together. It's fun to work with him. We study and prepare as if we were playing, but we'll kind of split the preparation. I'll say, Eli, you take the Jets. I'll take the Niners. We leave each other kind of emails and voice notes with kind of our preparation, so we feel like we've kind of seen it. And then you get on there, and then you kind of react to the game. We have guests on. To me, the best part about it, Stephen A., I love talking to people who love football as much as I do. And I know all of you love football as much as I do, and I enjoy that.
Well, it's got to the point we all love it.
That's what's great about the game.
I mean, I'm a basketball guy, and I'm depressed when the football season ends.
Correct.
I mean, it's established itself as religion in this country, for crying out loud. Everywhere you turn, I mean, you're just looking for football.